Hello and welcome to another episode of Menu Heroes Digest. I'm Steven.
I'm ready.
Alright, so we have a handful of stories to talk about. The one Jordan is most excited about, I'm saving for last, because I just know that we're gonna go over. that one's gonna be the longest.
Really? Excited about a story? How can you tell?
Alright, so, did you get the list I sent you, Jordan?
See, I did, but I downloaded it on my phone.
Okay.
It's only going to links, but I can't click on the links. So I'm on Discord right now, or on my phone.
Alright.
Those of you wondering, thankfully I got a brand new microphone. I'm using my computer on this time, so here's hoping take two gets much better.
Yeah, it sounds a lot clearer this time. There's not as much static. Or noise, rather.
Well, thank you.
So,
Also, it helps that I have a Ethernet cable that helps boost my internet better since I'm down in the basement. So,
nice.
hopefully no errors here.
I'm using a hotspot.
Okay. Whatever helps, man.
Alright, so the first story we're going to talk about is how a sealed copy of Super Mario 64 sold for $1.5 million. At
Mamma
auction.
mia.
Yeah. And so the funny thing is, it beat the previous set record, which was set by The Legend of Zelda for NES, which was set on the Friday before this happened.
Yeah, man. I had the list of all the different prices for old games, and man, it makes me regret selling some of my old stuff.
Yeah. It's crazy how much the pandemic has driven up prices.
Also, it's like a lot of people have gotten more into collecting more than ever, and I know I'm guilty of that because I bought a lot of Marvel Legends figures, so I'm pretty sure I paid a pretty penny for this huge shelf of Marvel figures that is now standing right in front of me.
Hey, if it,
Can't even imagine what kind of shelves this guy who got the Super Mario 64's got.
hey, if it makes you happy.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty sure somewhere in my house I got not a GameCube but a GameCube player. I saw that going for 150 on eBay. So I mean, if I have to, I can sell that for a good 200.
Yeah.
Or yeah, it's like 160. That'd be fair enough.
You said a Game Boy player?
GameCube player. It's sort of like, it lets you play Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games on the GameCube.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I think.
Because
Yeah.
that's been something that it would be cool to have in my collection. I've known about it for ever. And,
oh really?
Yeah, the old place that I used to work, the place where I used to work, they've gotten a couple in here and there, every now and then, and they've also gotten a Sega CD in, which is pretty rare.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, a quick rundown of records that have been made in the last 12 months. July 10th, 2020, Super Mario Brothers sold for $114,000. November 23rd of that year, Super Mario Brothers 3 sold for $156,000. April 2nd of this year, Super Mario Brothers beat the record again at $66,000. Then July 9th, which was just about a week ago, a sealed copy of Legend of Zelda sold for $870,000.
Mm-hmm.
And then, literally 5 days ago, Super Mario 64 sold for $1.5 million.
Man, I can only imagine what Ocarina of Time's going to sell for next week or 2 weeks from now. You know?
Oh yeah, especially if it's sealed.
Oh yeah.
You
Oh,
know
yeah.
what? You know what would be?
Yeah, this is probably why. Like, if I guess.
I was gonna say Majora's Mask would go for even more. I think.
Really?
Yeah, it tends to go for more than Ocarina of Time, cause not as many people got it.
Fair enough. I just figured that because Ocarina of Time is like there certainly are Majora's Mask fans out there.
Hello.
I just Ocarina of Time I've always seen has had positive light. But
Yeah.
then again, just because there wasn't that many Majora's Mask copies, that might be why it's so rare or why it's selling for a higher price.
So one of the reasons it didn't sell very well was because the difficulty level compared to Ocarina of Time was just it was a steep learning curve because the 3 day cycle, you lose everything after that, and you couldn't just save whenever in the original.
Okay, yeah, I can imagine that would drive some kids crazy.
Yeah.
I always figured it was probably because of how scared the moon was, or just how different it is from the other Zelda games. That I always thought why it didn't do as well as the other games, because it is very different from most other Zelda games.
That was another factor, but no, it's one of my favorites. I love it. I love the rich atmosphere it has, and yeah, it's just a fun game.
Unfortunately, I never experienced it. I play Ocarina of Time, and yeah, I'm one of those people that did not get Majora's Mask, but I will find some time. They've done a remake of it, right?
Yeah, remind me, and I'll get you a copy of Majora's Mask 3D.
Okay, that's fine.
Because I've got
Yeah,
an extra.
I'm okay with I'm okay with playing Ocarina of Time in 3D remake, and I'm okay with giving Majora's Mask a try for its 3D remake. So yeah, I'm down with that.
Yeah, I got copies of both, so you can borrow 'em.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
All right, so let's jump on over to the next story, which is about Sonic Colors Ultimate.
All right.
So there's been some controversy because
Yeah.
it's being released on, the Switch, the Xbox, and the PlayStation. But the Switch version does not have the 60 frames per second or the 4K resolution that the other platforms do.
Yeah, this is kind of like this is like tying back to what we were talking about last week of how, like, I mean, granted, Switch has never been set on like being as, graphic, as like horsepower advanced as the other consoles, but like, it is kind of, it's just kind of sad hearing about this kind of thing, about like you're getting excited for the Switch and everything and new stuff coming out, and to hear like the stuff that's coming out on the Switch versions of a lot of stuff is like considered a downgrade. Well, maybe not downgrade in terms of gameplay, but like in terms of like visually, it's a downgrade compared to the other versions out there. It is a little disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, the graphics are still improved. They're still better than they were on the Wii. And it's to be expected that the Switch doesn't have 4K resolution.
I mean, no, I don't think it ever did.
No, I never
I'm
did.
still very behind. I'm still blown away by the 1080p. I'm a-okay with that. But I know so many people are like, I gotta have everything in 4K. We gotta get all this 4K. I gotta play that in 4K, and I'm still just like at turtle pace, just admiring all the PS3 and new PS4 games out there.
The PS3. But yeah.
Hey man, there were some good games on PS3, man. There were some good games on there.
There were. Yeah, and it could play PlayStation 1 games. I had a PS3 for a while.
I mean, I still do, but we mostly use it for Blu-rays, honestly. I think that's how most people are. It's instead of just getting a Blu-ray player, we just get like whatever new Sony console or whatever Sony console we can get, and just have that play Blu-rays.
All right, so let's jump on to the next story, which is related. It is about how Sega is being sued over the Keymaster arcade machines that they have.
Huh. Okay, that must be a story that's not been on the Discord thing. Because
I keep forgetting to send it.
Yeah, I'm just
Give me a minute, and I'll
I know
send
you
it.
again. You sent me a thing that. Yeah.
And
okay.
It should.
I mean, okay, it happens, but
here it is.
Okay, yeah, okay. I just now popped up. All right, sorry guys, sorry.
That's my fault. So
I said this is breaking news for me. Breaking news: Sega sued. What?
But yeah, so these are the Keymaster machines that you'll see in like malls and stuff. In fact, I'm pretty sure the malls in my hometown have a couple.
They're those games that like you try and it's like a pretty much like a crane machine, but it's like a crane you control and put the key in the right hole, and that gets you the prize.
Yeah.
That we're talking about, right?
Yeah, it's like you try to.
Okay, we have that at the Valley View.
At Valley View, yeah.
Yeah, I think. Yes, I am pretty sure we have that. Yeah.
So the basic premise of this lawsuit is that the Keymaster machine is rigged. It's marketed as a game of skill, but it's more of a chance-based game. So the way the machine is rigged is players can only win prizes after enough plays.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nowhere on the machine does it say that it's a game of chance. It's portrayed, as the article says, it's portrayed as a simple game of pure skill with a straightforward directive. And while the deception behind the machine that it won't award players with until certain settings are met is in the game's manual, but most people don't have access to that manual.
Yeah, and I mean, I could have told you that it was purely by chance, because you know that every company who makes these kind of games, or these kind of arcade games, where all these prizes, they are designed to, like, you gotta pay an X amount of coins for you to actually have a chance at getting them, and even then, that's slim. So I could have told you just by looking at the thing that you could be like Olympic gold medalist. You ain't getting on the first try.
Yeah, it's.
So I feel like.
Go on.
I'm just saying, like, you know. So I feel like if they had not put on the label or anything, this is a game of skill, that could have gone away with saying, it could have pointed to any other arcade system and say, yeah, of course it's all rigged. Everything's rigged. You know, we're all out to sucker in some kids to get their quarters or whatever. But again, they made the mistake of saying this is purely skill based. That it depends on how good you are with the controls that you got a chance to win this prize, and that is just straight up not true. That is just absolutely not true.
Exactly. That is exactly it.
Mm-hmm.
Because arcade machines being, rigged, it's pretty common knowledge. But to say that the game is 100% skill when it's not is not only deceptive, but it's predatory towards. It's like a predatory attitude towards younger people, kids.
Yeah, again, it's you could kind of make the argument for any of the arcade games, the crane games, but it's just, again, when you straight up put on the label you got a chance to you can do it if you're good enough. Like that also like that could probably mess up with a kid's like mentality. Like, and imagine if like a kid actually was pretty good at some carny games or like just some like like actual like hort or horseshoes like real life. Like a kid could be really good at like aiming stuff in real life, and they go this game thinking they got the skill to do it, and the game is designed they can't. I'm sure that can mess up their mind and just destroy their confidences and might just like emotionally maybe not scar them, but emotionally hurt them.
Yeah, it can bring down their confidence.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, it's a. Yeah, I don't like those arcade machines because I'm bad at them.
Well, it's just again, I was taught by my uncle like back when I was a kid, like don't waste your money on that. It's all rigged.
Yeah.
Like he knew a guy who made them that they are purposely made to take kids' quarters and run with it.
There are now, and one of the comments said that in some locations, I don't know if they meant other states or other countries, there are claw machines that also have like a secondary level, which will dispense candy and stuff, so that regardless of whether or not you win one of the top prizes, you still get something from the machine.
This sounds like another country thing because I guarantee. Because I mean, hey, there might be a county, there might be a state where it's generous, But I'm telling you, like every state I've been to where there's a crane system, and I've seen kids waste quarters on it, they give you nothing, man. So this has got to be like a Canadian thing. That's my guess. That's my first thought. Maybe I'm just spitballing here, but yeah, this ain't happening in America, man. Yeah, not in Miss America.
Sorry.
Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I muted my mic
Okay.
because I was eating some chips. So
Okay.
it's funny that we brought up other countries because it's the perfect segue, and it wasn't even intended. Our next story, is about how in Ukraine there were thousands of PS4 Pros seized by the government.
Yeah, and but why exactly is there so many PS4s, Steven?
I'm glad you asked, Jordan. So it was a cryptocurrency mining farm. And the reason it was
There it is.
Yeah, the reason it was what's the word I'm looking for? The reason they took the PS4s into custody is because supposedly this farm was stealing electricity off of the nation's power grid.
Yeah, isn't this also a problem in China as well? There's a lot of crypto farms there that the country just are like, the CCPD or whatever they're called is like, no, we're done with this. We're done with wasting all this energy on this stuff.
Yeah, it's apparently the SBU, or the security service, Ukraine security service, which is called the SBU. I don't know everything. Seized about 3,800 game consoles, and going for full new price, which is about 400. That's about the cost of a sealed copy of Super Mario 64, $1.5 million.
Oh, money! It makes the world go round, and also just messes with the environment too. So,
well, apparently Ukraine, their security service is notorious for abusing power. It'll just take equipment worth thousands of dollars without any justification. At least according to Natalia Drick, who is the CEO of the Blockchain Ukraine organization. and it's crazy. It's crazy, man. Governments are corrupt. Can we agree on that, everyone?
I'm sorry, what was that last part?
I said governments are corrupt.
Yeah.
All right.
What, Steven? What? Man, I am finding out some new things, new information here today. Yo, baga.
All right.
So. All right. Again, I won't go too much into this, but ever since I've heard of cryptocurrencies, I have never trusted it. Like the idea of money or currency without having to cut down trees or mining metal from the ground seemed cool, but then you realize like you gotta drain a lot of energy, like burn a lot of fuel to make the electricity for that currency, and it's like you're harming the environment in a different way, man. And it's just the sooner we can get to a Star Trek future where we don't need currency at all, the better. That's how I feel.
Amen. I wish I could live in the Star Trek future.
Yeah, right?
All right.
And just warp right out of this galaxy.
Dude, exploring space would be so cool.
It would, man. I'm sure there would be some dangers, but hey, you're traveling through space.
It's risk for science.
That's a risk I'm willing to take.
I'll be honest. If the military was like Starfleet, where your main objective is to go out and learn new stuff for science, I would join in a heartbeat. But
the twist would be that as soon as we learn something, we either control it or blow it up.
Yeah, I'm not.
So that's the.
I'm not going to
go. That's the Black Mirror twist.
Not going to go shoot people up and get myself killed for some oil. No, thank you, America.
No. No.
Shout out to all the people who are going to be like, "Oh, you're not patriotic." Yeah. Okay.
Look, man, I got family in the military. I do love them. I care about them, but they'll tell me some things go down that makes it hard for you to sleep at night.
Yeah, I do want to put out there that when the military does good, I'm very thankful. I know that in the past, they're the ones who have fought wars like World War II. It's just nowadays, the government is just... I think it all started back in Vietnam. Because that's when the Watergate scandal happened and public trust in the government eroded drastically. People didn't want Vietnam. They thought it was a useless war. And we haven't really fought a useful war since World War II. All right, we're getting too political.
Granted, we'll move on. Okay, we'll move on. Not to say shouldn't talk about this or we can't talk about this, but just let's
move on.
I know the comment section are going to be, granted we don't get that many comments, but I'm sure if there's going to be a episode's going to be about that kind of comments, it's going to be this one, Steven.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Well, it's good to talk politics because it's a reality of life.
It is.
It's not something that you can just pretend doesn't exist because it does, and it affects everything. And some things we talk about aren't even politics, like trans rights, LGBT, Black Lives Matter. That's not politics. That's human rights. Human rights shouldn't be politics. It should be there. It should just exist.
I agree with you, but also I got some employees at my job that'll talk nonstop about how you're wrong for 8 hours straight. And that's the crap I gotta deal with. But I'm glad that you and I can least be on the same page.
Yeah. So, let's move on to something a little more lighthearted. So Microsoft put out this tweet that's basically, well, no, not basically. What it says is beating the game on the lowest difficulty is still beating the game. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. Microsoft calling for the end of that is kind of ironic, but, it's good to see. Because, like, I don't... I'm sorry. I'll let you talk.
No. I was gonna say I do agree with you. And it is nice that they're saying stuff like this because, as the article you've shown me from Kotaku has stated, like how toxic some video game fans would be. Shocking as that you may find.
Whoa.
That there's been this new subset of gamers that have just latched onto looking down upon people who don't want to play the hard modes or don't want to play nightmare modes for a game, or ask for who look down upon anyone who just likes playing on easy mode, and it's just I've seen this kind of attitude ever since I actually started playing video games, and it is sad that it's still going around to this very day. But thankfully, it is nice to see developers saying, guys, we just want you to have fun. You want to enjoy a game that's on hard mode? Cool. But there's some people who want to enjoy games on easy mode, and they're cool too. Let's all be cool, And I'm for that.
Sorry, my mom called. Thankfully, I had my mic muted. I heard the majority of what you said,
cool.
Though. I have been fortunate.
All right.
I have not run into the toxic gatekeeping that comes with the whole get good attitude. But, like, it's like some people say, it doesn't impact your experience at all what difficulty they play on. There's some games that, the whole point of them is that they're supposed to be difficult and they don't have a story. Yeah. But even then, playing on a lower setting doesn't make your gameplay experience any less valuable to you. If you're having fun doing it and it's not hurting anyone, do it.
Mm-hmm. I'll give you the best example of a game. Like they used to do this, but they were the first couple of Silent Hill games. They give you the option to just not deal with any monsters, or you only deal with like one or two monsters at a time, or like only one area or something like that. You had that option to just experience the story, just go through the mood and the atmosphere of the game, and just go through the story. And I'm sure you had to at least deal with at least like one or two bosses that were important to the story. But that's an example of, and again, like, at least for that game, I didn't see a whole lot of complaints from that. Like, you're not a real Silent Hill fan if you don't play on Nightmare mode, where you are just near death at every turn, and you're guaranteed to get the bad ending because of that. Because there's an ending in Silent Hill 2 where if you're constantly at low health, you get a bad ending. So, but anyway, point being, it's like that's still considered a classic game. Plenty of their games have easy modes or modes that are just a-okay with you just exploring the story or just like going through the story, and it's like they're still considered like works of art. They're still considered some of the best games out there.
Yeah. All right, it is time.
Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain.
I can't hear you.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Oh.
Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. Yeah, so this is a game that's going to be coming out. It has been compared to Smash Brothers.
I mean, yes, but also just the trailer. I had such a grin on my face, especially with some of the characters they chose to put in. Like, you know what? I don't care. I honestly don't care. Like, this could be a straight up just Smash Brothers clone. Like some kid at college could have made this. Could have just did mods of all the different Nickelodeon characters in a Smash Brothers game, and they just could have released this as in a disc form. I still would have bought it. There's just okay, Disney, Cartoon Network. They are dear to my childhood. I've watched several of their shows, old and new. But Nickelodeon, seeing. Clearly, it had more effect on my childhood than I ever thought, because there were so many different characters and styles and just different moods for each. I mean, of course nowadays you got the SpongeBob, just taking over. But I do remember growing up and all these different styles of shows, all these different types of cartoons being available. Hey Arnold was the most chill of all of them, and it was still a show I loved watching. It's kind of my first experience of slice of life.
Yeah.
And this as I can tell, I'm really digging this story. I really am.
So I'll be honest, I've yet to watch the trailer, and I'm more of a Cartoon Network person than I ever was Nickelodeon. Out of the three big, kid channels, it was Cartoon Network, Disney Channel, and then Nickelodeon. But I agree with you that it's very cool that they had all these different art styles. It was great that they had programs such as hold on, I can't remember the exact name of it, but
I mean, do you want me to say it? Because I know most of them.
Oh no, I'm not naming a particular, series. Okay. It was random cartoons, stuff like that, where it would showcase a bunch of, shorts for pilots.
Yeah. Do you mean Oh Yeah cartoons or Kablam? Because they were both around.
There's also random cartoons, which was Oh Yeah.
Oh Yeah.
And the reason that one specifically comes up is because that's where Adventure Time had its first pilot until, Nick passed on it and Cartoon Network got it, and it's one of my favorite shows.
Oh yeah, and also if Cartoon Network did release their own Smash Brothers clone, but just mainly Cartoon Network characters, I would not complain one bit.
Oh yeah.
Especially if they had Samurai Jack on there. If Samurai Jack's a playable character in a Cartoon Network Smash clone, I'm buying it. I'm pre-ordering. I never pre-order anything, but I would pre-order that. So let me make sure I get my stance very clear.
And if this turns out to be successful, it's very likely Cartoon Network will do something like that.
Oh yeah, and even though obviously I'm happy with the characters they've announced, but the roster isn't too big.
Oh, not yet.
Also I feel like they are going to do the same thing that Nintendo's doing, where they will make a big announcement trailer for each character announced. Yeah. Especially if this thing is successful, people huddling around the YouTubes and anything anything they can get at online just to see what new character is going to be. I've actually made.
Sorry, I was going to say it's a great way to milk it.
Well, I mean, they'd get my money, except if it's Fanboy or Chum Chum. I refuse to get a Fanboy and Chum Chum character. Look, I love Nickelodeon, I do, but they've had some stinkers on their hands.
That show is awful.
Yeah, and Breadwinners too. I hated the main character. He was, ugh. Yeah, I won't even get into it. But yeah. Those two, let them not be anywhere near this game, please.
But yeah, no, there's no way this is just all the characters they have. There's, it's a sure bet that they're gonna announce more characters.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting.
Also, I know. Yeah. Also, now granted, like I'm not sure if this is confirmed or not, but like on Amazon, .com, there is like a listing. It does show like the box of the Switch box for Nintendo All-Star Brawl, and all the characters are in silhouettes. But it's like people have been speculating like what the other silhouettes could be. Two, I'm pretty sure are Ren and Stimpy. One, I think, could be Cat Dog. Some people are saying that Korra is also one of the silhouettes, but that one I'm not too sure about. And let me tell you right now, if Korra's in this game, Aang's definitely going to be this game, because there's no way they're going to have just Korra. They're going to have like the original Avatar, Aang, in this game. If he's in this, or if either of them are in this,
Yeah, I see. I found the box art. Yeah, it's gonna be cool to see the Avatar characters, because that's one Nicktoon that like I did love.
I mean, that's universally loved.
Yeah, it's a great
Plus,
series.
this is supposed to be. Oh yeah, and also Legend of Korra too. Like,
oh yeah,
I know there's some people that are like, that just want to poo-poo on it, but it's like, hey, it's not as good as Last Airbender, but it's still really good. It's still worth checking out.
It's not really something you can compare, because the styles and themes of each one are just so different. I remember when Legend of Korra first came out, my aunt and I, Kim, we didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't as lighthearted as Avatar: The Last Airbender was at times. But as we've grown older and, we understand politics more, we love the show. Okay,
good.
I'll be honest, I haven't actually watched The Legend of Korra a whole lot, just because there's so much I haven't watched that I need to get around to watching.
Okay. Well, Season 3 is the best. Season 3 is really good on all cylinders. I dare say Season 3 of Legend of Korra is as good as all 3 seasons of Last Airbender. Come at me.
They're not as good as the live-action movie was, though.
Don't you dare. Not on this day, sir. Do not utter that. Do not.
M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh, boy. I almost forgot about it. I was in such a good mood. And then you had to bring that monstrosity into this house. How dare you?
I love how they set it up for sequels and then they never happened. That's my favorite part about the movie.
I love how Nickelodeon thought that would be more successful than a Zuko story about him getting his mother back. They thought the live-action movie would make them more money than that,
To be fair, it was it was something that was going on at the time. Live-action adaptations, they're still going on. It's just they chose the wrong person to do it. They chose someone who didn't understand or respect the source material. That's not to say M. Night Shyamalan is a bad producer, director, writer. It's just, in this case, he dropped the ball.
He didn't really care about the source material.
The twist of the movie was that it wasn't good.
I mean, I could see that twist coming a mile away.
All right.
Go back to making The Village 2.
So, we are just about out of time. Any last thoughts you want to throw out there?
Okay, I'm not gonna have time for my 5 Nickelodeon characters I want to see in this, but I'll mention Jenny XJ9, Norbert and Daggett from Angry Beavers, Angelica Pickles, and the Gromple.
The Gromple.
And yes, from Real Monsters. And
okay.
I am so thankful Oblina got as a playable character. I'm just happy that Nickelodeon's even acknowledging that show even exists, because you know there's been nothing about All Real Monsters, anything at all from them, and just just seeing her, just seeing Oblina, just really, really got to me. Really, really, just it made my crappy day a little bit better,
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you next week.
Man, I was trying to think of a cool pun, but I just can't seem to think of a good way to end this,
Until then, stay cool.
And stay hot. Okay, let's look at that one.